What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. So if you guys caught my last video on the engine, I am in the process of deciding whether or not I want to try and take it back to the scrapyard that I got it and pick up another one, or if I just want to try and pull the heads off, get that situated and fixed. But I decided to leave that there for now and move on to this. This is my fuel tank. So let's go ahead and get it unboxed, see what comes with it, set it up, and get it going. Alright guys, so let's get into this. I've got the tape cut on the box. I have not opened this yet. So let's get it opened, see what comes in it. Looks like my filler tube. Another box. Another box. Woo! Look at that, a new tank. See if we can get that tank out of there. See if I can do it with one hand. New tank. Anything else in here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's it. Okay, so let's get it over onto the bench. Okay, so I've got it on the bench. And for now, I'm not going to take the wrap off it because this bench is kind of dirty and this is a nice new shiny tank. Try and keep it that way for at least a little bit. But here in this bag, what do we got? Okay, got a rollover valve. Some instructions. What else we got? Looks like a coupler, maybe for my filler tube. Some gaskets and assortment of nuts and bolts. And the last thing in this bag looks like maybe a T-vent. Find out. I'm not entirely sure what that's for. We'll find out. Alright, so moving on to this white box. What is this? Oh, it says fuel sender. Made in India. Alright. Pull that out of there. Anything else? Nope. And that means this must be the fuel pump. Oh, I got the sender over there. This must be the fuel pump. That over there. What we got? Looks like the filter for the fuel pickup. Some cable ties. By the way, if you didn't know, zip ties will pull a truck. Go back a couple videos. I got one of those. And some more instructions. Box is empty. Alright. So, I'm going to guess this is the fuel pump. And geez, probably could have wrapped it better, you know. Put some more around it. Look at that. Fuel pump. It says made in the USA. Alright. There's the pump itself. What else we got here? The pump mounts too. We'll go probably in that hole. I'm probably gonna have to adjust and trim that to fit. And this is the sender. One-handed. It's always fun. It'd be nice if I had somebody here to help me. So, what do we got? looks like fuel sender. There it is. All right, so I'm gonna finish unwrapping these and have them laid out and show you everything we got. So this is everything. So I got my assortment of instructions for each and every different item I got here. Got a rollover vent. This, again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna guess it's part of the vent system. It's probably a tee-off. Like I said, this is the connector for my filler tube, my fuel sending unit that I have to assemble. My fuel pump needs to be mounted on here. I need to get this all trimmed and set to the right depth and level, and my gaskets for it. So let's jump right into this. I just want to show you this real quick about this tank. So this tank does have baffles inside of it. I don't know if you can see in there. It's got a baffle around where the fuel pump would go. That way you don't have to worry about a dry start, or if you go down a hill or up a hill or whatever, sliding your car around, you don't have to worry about starving your fuel pump. There are baffles way back in there, which is actually kind of cool. Okay, so to install this fuel pump, first things you got to do, and Holley has a great video on how to do this because this is a Holley Sniper EFI tank. So they have a great video on how to do this, but what you do is you take this larger opening, the larger of the two, you take a tape measure, push it all the way to the bottom. If I can get enough tape measurement here, so you guys can read that. You can take it and push it all the way to the bottom. And you I come up with a measurement of 8 3/4 inch. So 8 3/4 inch for my depth. And then what you're gonna do, and I've already done it, is you're gonna take your fuel pump and your fuel pump sock, and you're going to connect them. You're just gonna set it down on the surface and press down really hard, and it'll snap into place. So now what you gotta do, take a measurement of this. You're gonna go right to the bottom, or right to the top of this black, right here. It's a black line. Okay, so I got 4.5. So I'm gonna take 8 3/4, subtract 4.5. That's gonna be my depth. Okay, so once you have taken your measurements and subtracted them, you get, on my application, you get 4 1/4 inches. So take the measurement from the base of this, right here, down 4 1/4 inches on this black tube. You're gonna make a mark. So I'm gonna make a mark at 4 1/4 inches, and then I'm gonna snip it off. Okay, so now that I've got it snipped off right here, to 4 1/4 inches, what you're going to want to do is they say to heat up this black tubing so that you can slide your fuel pump onto it a little bit better. And they say to use a heat gun. I don't have a heat gun. The only thing I have is a butane torch. And luckily there's no fuel in this system. So I'm just going to heat it up and push the fuel pump on. So once you've got it installed and you've got the fuel pump pressed all the way down into the tube, you take and cut a 45-degree angle on your return line, which is the white line, and then you're going to zip tie that white line right to the fuel pump itself, and then you're going to go ahead and tighten down this clamp, and then that should be the correct depth for your tank and the correct depth for your return line. And you cut a 45-degree angle so that it never gets blocked and you always have a return line. Alright guys, so make sure whenever you're done you get this connector plugged in, and then the next step is going to be installing it. Whenever I go to do that, I got a cork gasket, and I've got this lion head gasket, shellac, not sure how to pronounce it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this on the tank service, and some of this on one side of this. I'm going to stick it down to it. You let a couple minutes to tack up, and then you stick it down to it, and I'm going to do the same thing to the fuel pump flange. I'm going to put some on the bottom of this, put some on the top of this, and then set the fuel pump sender unit inside and install these bolts that are supplied with it. And also, whenever you go to install this, make sure you look down inside here to see if there's any recess for your fuel pump to sit. For instance, I don't want the fuel pump sock face this direction because it will hit that tube down there, and I don't want to hit that. And it'll hit this tube over here. So I'm going to go sideways in the tank, just like this. Alright guys, so I got some applied down there, and some applied on this side of the gasket, and I've used this stuff quite a few times, and I tell you what, every time I use it, I think, it's not going to be that bad. This stuff is gross. It gets everywhere. So, I waited just a couple seconds. Now I'm going to try and line these bolt holes up and set it in place. Okay, those are lined up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to apply some more of this onto this surface and apply some onto this surface and set the sending unit down inside there. So for the fuel sending unit, what you do with this is the depth of your tank, you divide that by 2, whatever the depth was. Mine was 8 3/4. Divide that by 2 and then add 1/8 of an inch, or 3/8 of an inch, sorry, for the thickness of your gasket. And then that is the depth. So you're going to measure from this flange to the center of your pivot, right there. And you set that to the right depth, which I've got mine set. And then you're going to install your float. So I'm going to install my float real quick, right there where that goes, and line it up, set it down in the hole just like I did the last one, and this tank should be done. Alright guys, and there you have it. I've now got my fuel tank set up. I've got my fuel pump and my fuel pressure sensor, or fuel level sensor, all hooked up, all ready to go. So now I just got to get my car into the shop so that I can get all this stuff going. And if you found this video helpful, guys, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next LS Swap video.